Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning in. Today, we're going to be looking at AAVE, its valuations against Bitcoin. Um, for the current time, when we're looking at AAVE, we're looking at this 50-week moving average here, where it has shown recently it can hold it as support. And in today, we see that that has happened. I mean, it happened 2 weeks ago, but we see the initial bounce from the 50 week, and we're continuing to trend up. Now, one thing that's interesting is this yellow line here. Not so much this straight line here at 0.015 Bitcoin, but this downward line here that I have drawn out. Now, it doesn't really look very good on the weekly. On the daily, it kind of makes sense. Um, we see that it kind of holds as resistance for AAVE against Bitcoin, right? We see it here. And then, on the 6th of July, we wicked to it and came back down. Now, with today being a rally of like 3.5% or so, almost, we could see this cup up, swing up for a second attempt. And this will be very, very interesting. And the reason why I say it's going to be interesting is that if we break resistance, then it's kind of a surefire way, a surefire way possibility of it coming back to the prior all-time high. At which point, if Aave does break it, Aave becomes one of the few assets that would show to be doing better or well during this time of Bitcoin being below the 20-week moving average. And that's one of the things that might be something to keep in mind for future cycles. We look at altcoins, and there's thousands of them. They all act in a similar way, in a similar capacity of when Bitcoin's above the 20-week moving average, they do well. They If Bitcoin's below it, they don't do well. Then there are some assets that do well during Bitcoin being below the 20-week moving average. During a bear market. Chainlink is a prime example of that. In the earlier years, it done very well. Cardano during this period right now is holding very well against Ethereum, despite what's happening right now. Uh, even against Bitcoin, Cardano is doing very, very well. It's holding very well. Um, Celsius is another example of it rallying during Bitcoin being below the 20-week moving average. Like these things are interesting to find and could be useful within your portfolio. And in the next, couple weeks to a month, we could see that play out. All right, Aave has a chance to be in that small category of altcoins that are quite special. And with that said, we'll see how this plays out. If it does break above the downward trend line of resistance and comes back to the prior all-time high, that's pretty good. That is pretty good. It eviscerates its losses during the time when Bitcoin dumped, and it's trading at all-time highs basically against Bitcoin, which would be immensely impressive. Against the US dollar, we're peaking into this range that we've been moving sideways in for months, since the beginning of the year, basically. So we'll see how this plays out. If Aave does break that downward trend line of resistance, and Bitcoin stays whatever at the price at $33,000 or whatever, then Aave has a very good chance to re-enter into this range, bringing it back to like $530 possibly, but anything between $300 and $530, it could range against too. And with that said, if you bought today and you held it, it would be a 71% gain. But I mean, this would be pretty amazing for Aave considering what other altcoins are doing. I mean, Ethereum is down to $2,100 from its peak of $4,600, and it doesn't look like it wants to come back up. There are plenty of other examples that I can bring up, but just briefly, just show Ethereum. Anyway, so that's pretty much it with Aave. This is what we're kind of looking at. Where I'm just kind of looking at the downward line of resistance, see if we'll break it. If we do, then the next target would be about 0.015 Bitcoin or so. And then at that point, we can then monitor it to see if it'll break its prior all-time high. And if it does, that'll be an amazing feat for AAVE during this time. Anyway, that's all for today, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye bye.